Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Lisa. I'm so glad you stopped by today and joined me for my release of my newest freebie. And I know you're saying, hey Lisa, you just had a freebie. Well, I did. The Strippy Strip one, that's in my Ko-fi account. I had made a while ago and just kind of forgot to post. This one I've been in the process of making for a while, and I want to make a project with it because I got kind of really excited about it. So I'm like, well, I got to release it just because I just released one. Can't make me stop. So what I have is I've got these lovely cabinet cards, and they are actually my family, not ones that found in a thrift shop, etc. Sadly, I don't know who any of these people are. When my grandfather passed away back in 2001, I found a photo book, very ornate photo book, and unfortunately at that time I wasn't into junk journaling and I would have kept it. I was into genealogy, which I still do, but I took the book apart because it had all these cabinet cards in there, and I was hoping on the back would be names of people. It was my great grandmother's on my mom's side, my mom's dad's mom, my great grandma's. It was her book. So somewhere it is her family. Now, I do know through my genealogy that my great-grandmother's mother died when she was about 5, I believe. She got a new mom after that. Supposedly a wonderful mom because my mom knew her. And but she kept that book. So my guess is it is family from her mom's, my great-grandmother's mom, who passed away when she was 5. So people I have no idea of. Nothing was ever written down for any of these people. Actually, I do have a couple. I didn't scan them. That does say my mom and dad. So I do have pictures of them. But these pictures, who knows? But there's some fun ones. So I have picked out just a handful of them to scan in, and they are lovely cabinet cards with just a variety of people, like this gentleman, and then there is a background. How fun, little elk on there, and they're all from either Chicago, I think there's a couple from Wisconsin also. Yeah, this one is actually from Wisconsin. I do know that her part of her family moved up to Milwaukee, and it just says Milwaukee here, but each one had a fun background with it. So like brothers, got a family with 3 kids. I have another family, and my guess is it's one of those brothers, maybe not. They all look like, looks like a wedding, and maybe the people that stood up with them, or maybe their siblings. Another lady with a scroll and a baby. Just fun. I'm pretty sure this is their wedding photo. And of course, this could be a wedding photo too, or maybe graduation, communion, little girl, or maybe they were standing up for a wedding. That one didn't have a back. And I got these lovely pictures of these girls. There's actually 3 daughters involved. It's probably hard to see and focus in on that. But she's wearing a brooch of a gentleman. I have his picture too. Looks like it could have been their father, but there's a sequence of these pictures, and they all have a picture of a brooch with their father on them. And then they've got these whimsical photos. They're done at different times because they're different cards. This says Shoal. This is engraved. It does say Shoal too, or embossed. So it was the same photographer. A lovely lady. They did, what do you want to call it? Color her? I did not color her. That, another baby. Some of these are a little bit more faded, but the faded ones I grabbed because they had wonderful backs. Different studios for stuff like that. Sadly, that baby's almost gone. And then this lady, it's actually attached, another picture attached on there. And I hate to, another portrait. So let me show you what I scanned in for all these to share with you. So what I did is I found 12 backs, and then I scanned 12 fronts to go with it. I have reduced them down slightly. This is not the back, but these were all about 6 and what do you want to call it? 6 3/4 ish, and I reduced them all so that they stayed in, and they were 6 inches, just to make them a little bit more easy to use for that. So I have 3 backs or 6 backs, or sorry, 12 backs, 3 backs on each page. But look how fun that one is. This is actually a picture of the store. That had the Frugal and Malley, or Prusel and Malley. Prucell and Malley portrait with the address. But one of them for Prucell and Malley had this ornate little wreathy kind of thing. And one had a picture of the art studios. And this is just Prucell when he was by himself. Photographic artist. Like, how fun is that? All right, and then here's some more. And I did, here's another Prucell and Malley on a globe with the lady. And then this Paul Pressure, different person. There was 2 of them, but one was reddish, pinkish, and one was blue. So I scanned both of those. And there is some more Malleys. It was Prucell and Malley, and Malley was a photographer by himself that did things. They also had crayon portraits, a specialty. Interesting. And then a new one to the block, Matusik. Very fun. Again, all Chicago. And then the back I did show you with the elk, Hirsch, also in Chicago, more Malley. And then Wilk Art Studio. I think that's a new one to the block. But those are the 12 backs. And then, like I said, I just scanned some fronts in. You had seen those. The ladies, the people that look like they got married, the couples. I got the families and the baby version. Now, I did clean them up just a little, like if there was marks on their face or something, or spots on something. I did try to clean them up, but I did leave a lot of the grunge on here just to make it more authentic. Now, these are not the clearest prints because I just printed it on like 28-pound paper. I did not print them on photo paper, so my version is not as clear as it should be if it's printed on real photo paper. The gentleman, the lady, and then the 3 brothers, and then I've got those 2 fun girls and those 2 girls. So yeah, so there is the freebie is in my Ko-fi account, and it is available for free. That's hence the freebie. So if you'd like it, go ahead. The link is down below. Click on that and open it up and download it and play with it. If you want to see what I plan to do with it, stay tuned. I might actually show it in the beginning. Probably not. I'll probably just show it at the end of the project I want to do. And or there might be a picture on the thumbnail, and you saw what it is already. But anyway, stay tuned if you want to see that project. If not, go to the Ko-fi account. And I said it before, if you'd like to donate, I'm always greatly appreciative of the support that I get from my many followers on Ko-fi. Not many. I sound like I'm like some big influencer. I think there's like 500 people. But very, very grateful to everyone who supports me. But again, they are freebies. I'm not expecting anything from it. So entering 0 is totally fine. No obligation there for that. But I just wanted to share these because they have been sitting. I do actually, these are not all the photos I have. Like I said, I've got like a shoebox filled with these cabinet cards, and I just love them. But I just picked out, like I said, the best backs that I could find and some of the most fun fronts to share with you. So with that said, I'm going to pause the video and get the stuff ready, and I'm going to come back and show you what I'm going to make with these cabinet cards. Okay, so what I've decided to do is to make a book, like a notebook out of these cards. I'm going to bind it with my Zutter machine, the coil thing, but I also thought if somebody wanted to make something like this, you could just put, you know, a hole or 2 and use those, what do you want to call those, O-rings that open, or a circle of things like that, or even do the method where you do that tape, where you tape them together. I've done that before, and have them to be able to flip open. But what I've done, and I'm going to show you the few I've done, and then I'll show you how I did it, is I have the photograph on front. I have used some solid papers and some print papers. If it was solid paper, I put a little washi. If it's print paper, I didn't. And on the back, I put one of the backgrounds of the cabinet card. So if I wanted to cut it out a little further, this would be like the cabinet card, where it would just back it and front it. But I wanted to keep the extra space so that the coil wouldn't go into the actual pictures, and that's why I made them bigger. The freebie, I think I mentioned in the beginning, is that these are like 6 inches tall, so by 4 inch. I have cards that are scrapbook paper that are 6.5 by 4.5. So I kept the 4.5 wide. So since these were about 4, it left that extra part. And these were 6.5, but I did cut them down to be 6 inches wide. I'm going to show you the reason why I did 6 inches high and cut them down a little bit in a bit. But yeah, so I entered, I also used some of that from my most recent, the strippy strips where I printed them on the clear sticker paper. I used a couple of those. Here's one of those on here, and here's the other one. This was actually a print, but I did put that sticker on here. It just had a bit of color to it. And the background, another washi, a print with the background. This one I actually, it was a white back that I had put it on, and I ended up inking it just to grunge it up a little bit of washi. Again, washi. This is the first one I did, and I accidentally put the print for the front near the bottom, and then on this one I put the print to the top. I wasn't cutting it down exactly, so it was okay, but that one was a mistake. This one's got a print, and this one had a print, and that one had a print, and that one had a print. Now, I don't know if this is the order these are going to go in. I might change it in a bit. But what I'm going to do, and I'll show you here, is I'm going to cut pieces of watercolor paper. And I've cut a couple already. I've got a watercolor book, one of the ones I got, and I've taken some pages out. You can kind of see the lines here. And when I cut these down this way, this width was 6 inches. These are 6 inches wide, and then when I cut them down, they are this is a 9-inch, so it became 4.5 inches. So it was like perfect to do 4.5 by 6 by just cutting those in half to be able to put in here. So my thought is I'm going to take 2 of these for right now, one of these pages, cut them in half, put 2 of them in there, so the book will go my cabinet cards, and then I'll have 2 watercolors, and then a cabinet card, 2 watercolors, etc. But then I also thought, just to fancy it up, I might go through and put some, I've got like these kind of things that are postcards that got some prints. Like this might be fun to put in there. I've got other ones that have floral. I've got solid ones that are Pantones. I got just a few of them out there. So I was thinking about maybe possibly adding those to these 2, depending on how thick it gets after I put all these papers in there. My end goal is to be able to make this to be just some sort of book that if I want to come through and do a little watercolor fun, a little watercolor print, or a little collage, just a little play, a little mixed media play, like that. So that is my end goal for this. It's just going to be fun to do. But let me show you how I did these papers, because I do have one set left that I want to add. All right, so here's this. I've got the back on there already. It has a solid color, and I did put a washi. I had to use this one because it's at Art Studio, so I thought that was perfect. This will probably go to the back of the book for that. And then I've got her, which she's just so cute. Debating what she's gonna do. All right, so like I said, I have a whole bunch of these cardstocky kind of things that are 4.5 by 6.5. So for the these, I cut them down. I did take my rounder on the smallest one, and I did do the edges. Probably 99% of these that I scanned have the cabinet cards had a bit of a roundness to them. So I just took the littlest one just to get the edge off, and I didn't do it yet on this. I'll show you what I did different on this. So I'm just going to glue this and put it on the back of here. Oops, got to get it longer. For the front piece, or the picture piece, the front, I made sure that the border was on this side. So I want to make sure that I go all the way to the edge on here and pull it down. There we go. I like using the glue stick because there is a bit of time to be able to have this slide a little bit. Now, if it's a little bit hanging over, I was fine with that. It's not perfect, but it's good. So that left this border here. And then the next thing I did is I do cut it down to be 6 inches tall, because like I said, I want it to be a 6-inch tall journal. So I cut them all down to be 6 inches. And after that, I went and rounded all 4 corners with my medium one. And I will eventually go through, when I cut these down in half, I will also do the medium on for those. And like I said, if it was solid, I decided I wanted to put some sort of washi tape on there. So I pulled that washi tape out already. Of course, I should have started it. There it is. I think this is one of the paper ones, so I'll have to pull the paper off. Yep. Now, the reason I could have definitely kept these plain, but I just thought it was kind of fun to add a little bit of something to them. All right, we're gonna just pull it right there. Wow, that is just sticky on my finger there. I've probably got glue all over my fingers too. And just put it right up to the edge, over and over. Now I did fold these over because I did glue these together to make one set of cards. So that is the front of the card, and then it gets flipped over to the back. Now I definitely could have kept these separately. The back would look fine. Maybe I would have cut that washi tape off and had an additional space to do anything, collage, etc. But I did decide to glue them together just to give them a bit more stability and make them look more like they were cabinet cards. Just a preference, but again, not unnecessary for it. All right, when I glued these together, I did mostly glue stick, but then I did do the border with art glitter glue because these were thicker papers and I wanted them to definitely stick. All right, make sure they're all correctly the same. Put them together, I tap them down and push the sides so that they would be as even as possible. And I could feel this one's a little bit wider. But that's okay. All right, so we're gonna push it together. And for some reason, this is a little wider. And I don't know, I didn't cut that green to width, but it could have been just different manufacturers. This is the first one I had the problem with. I'm just gonna trim this down, get rid of that green. Quite a few layers on here. I'm probably gonna have to take scissors to it. Plus for some reason my blade has a nick on there and it's it's catching in one spot. All right, I have to go back and round this corner now that I've trimmed it down a little bit, and hopefully it'll fit in there with 4 layers. Ooh, just fits. Okay. And make sure it is good and connected. I'm gonna put a little ink on the edges just because there's like a white center to them. And I might have to go back and put some glue on those corners because they had a little bit of a beating for that. All right, so there is the card. And like I said, it is just going to go in here with the Zutter. So I'm going to pause the video and I'm going to cut my papers and decide if I want to, like I said, pick any of these guys to put in there. And I will use the Zutter machine to coil it, and we can see how this is going to look in the end. So I'll be back in a moment. Okay, so I've got all the cards done, fronts and backs, added some washi tape if I felt like it. The last one that I was doing on camera, I finished that one up. So I have cut the watercolor papers and I have around the edges. I've decided to put 4 sheets of these in between each card, and then I found these kind of like postcard blank things that I thought would be fun, so I'm going to put one in between. So I'll do 2 white sheets, one of these, 2 white sheets between them. So I found some of these like old looking florals, some black and white strawberries, some, I don't know, I don't think those are Lily of the Valley, but not sure which flower those are. But what does it say? Ornithican Canadus. Yeah, don't idea. Doesn't say the other name. But that's that one. And then this one's black and white. It's got a whole bunch of different flowers on there. Old looking butterflies, and another, looks like almost like a magazine cover of old flowers, and then dragonflies. Love it. So I'm going to probably pick and choose these as I go in, maybe look at the colors that's surrounding them. All right, so I'm going to be cutting them, or coiling them, or whatever you want to call it, attaching them with my Zutter machine. So I've got a spiral. I think this is going to be fine when it comes to that point. And I've used this once before, but I'm going to do a quick recap on this and just get like one section together. And then I'm going to pause the camera and do the rest on my own. So I have determined that I would like to put 10 holes in there. And the best way for me to do it is there is different settings here. And my best bet that I found is if I close it, so I use the inner page section for the start. So, oh, get over there. So we're going to put this in there, and I'm going to put it all the way to the little stopper there. Make sure it's down. Okay, and then we've got the holes. And then I'm going to go into the third hole, and I need to just switch it back to, I guess it's called B, continuous. And I'm going to put it, there's a little notch there. Put that in the third hole, and hold that down. And if my calculations are correct, come on, it should pretty much center it. Yeah, pretty good. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 holes. So there is that. And then, like I said, I'm going to take 4 sheets of paper. So I'll probably, when I'm off camera, I'll just punch these. I'll punch all these, and then we'll put it back together. But I just want to show you what it's going to look like. All right, so we got 4 sheets of that. Again, I'm going to switch it to the stopper, and push it down, and switch it so I can do the third hole. 1, 2, 3. Make sure they're all down. Beautiful. And then that's going to go onto there. Looks pretty good. And then, like I said, I'll take one of these. I'm not sure if this is going to be the next one that's going to go, but we're just going to, once again, we'll put it to the end. And then we'll do 1, 2, 3. And we've got that card. So what it will look like is, put 2 sheets. So I'll have the cover. I'll have that, and then I'll have a fun little color thing. It's got some blanks on the back too, and then that, and then the next one will be there. All right, so I'm going to pause the video, and I'm going to punch away. All right, so I've punched all the holes in there, and now we're going to put it together. We're going to take a cover, and then I've got them separated into 4. But like I said, I think I'm going to do 2, and then I'm going to do one of these, and then do 2. I'm not going to really worry about which one goes between which, because I don't think you're not going to see this compared to that. So, all right, so one of those, and 2 of those, and 1 of those, and we're just going to keep going. Okay, so if I did my holes correctly, they should be pretty well lined up. And I can see through them. It's hard to tell, but I can see through. There's probably going to need a little bit of finagling to get through there, but I think it'll be okay. Yeah, I think it'll be okay. All right, so I'm going to use a coil that is 3/4, and it seems like that's probably going to be a pretty good height for it. And I do need 10 holes, so I need to clip that. And I hope my clipper will work. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I need to clip it right there. Okay, it worked. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Beautiful. For half a second, this looked like it had an extra hole. Okay, so when you're doing one of these books, you are supposed to put the back cover onto the front, so that when it, the closure is going to be inside the book. So you're going to take the back and you're going to flip it around to be like that. Now it looks weird because it doesn't really look like a back cover, but when the book closes, this is going to go like this and then become the back cover. Okay? If you don't care if this closure is on the outside, you don't have to do that, but I think it just works a little bit better to do it that way. All right, so we're just going to take a few pieces, and the first one is probably the most hardest to do because you have to, there we go. You have to make sure that they're in the right spot, but after that, pretty easy to slide these on here. There we go. Now I have linked below, I'm going to double check, the Zutter machine on Amazon, but I know the Cinch machine by We Are Memory Makers does the same exact thing. So if you have one of those, that could work to make a book. All right, but there we go. All right, so now I'm going to take this machine. There is a spot in here that has, it's hard to tell, but there's like the measurements, and I've dialed it in to 3/4, I think. Well, now I got it to 3/4. Or do I go to the top? All right, I'm going to go to that back line. If it doesn't close all the way, I can squish it up a little bit more. And all you have to do is put this in and squish it. Now, it's wider than the base, so you have to squish part of it and then take the other part and squish it. Beautiful. Beautiful. It's overlapped. Probably was a little tighter than it needed to be. Probably needed to be back a little, but not that much. All right, so like I said, we're going to take the front or the back one and move it all the way to the back so that the, whatever you want to call that, I'm going to mark in there, is hidden. So this side is smooth. And there we go. We have one beautiful mixed media kind of notebook drawings. And I figured, you know, it might be hard to do something in here if I wanted to do like watercolor or something. But what I figured I could do is just take one of my, you know, cut off, roll off things and do that and cover it up and be able to do what I want, or just turn the book like this and do whatever I want on there, and it'll be a fun place to be able to add drawings or make maybe little collages, add some fun ideas, but just fun. But I just love how I have the pictures of the photo cards, front and back, and they're nice and sturdy because I doubled them. And then the fun thing, make notes on those. Probably they're slicker, probably would work for, since it's a slicker backing, alcohol markers or alcohol inks for it. But Yeah, so there's the back. I love it with the white paper's a little thicker than I probably should have had, but you know, it's just a fun little book. I love it. Very fun. Yeah, so the freebie is again in my Ko-fi account. You can take a look and download it if you want. Love that one. Butterflies. And are you in there? Oh, you are in there. Okay. I was worried for a second I missed one of the holes. That would have been awful. I like how these are a little bit shorter too, because whatever's going to be behind here sticking out, you'll be able to see. So that's fun. I love it. I love it. Okay, well, that is going to be it for today's video. I hope you got inspired to maybe make yourself a little mixed media kind of book. And I hope you like the freebie of the digitals. I didn't use all of them, so I do still have some ones that I can take. And I could even just take them, glue them onto each other, and make a little cabinet card of their own. They are a little bit, I tried to cut them at 6, but some of them got a little bit different in size, but that's okay. Can ink around it. Fun stuff. Okay. That's it for me today. If you liked the video, a thumbs up would be great. If you haven't subscribed to the channel and want to see some other projects that I'm working on, I've got a couple. I got my multicolored rainbow journal coming up, and I also have my monster at the end of the book journal that I'm going to want to work on coming up. So if you want to see any of those or other ideas, please subscribe to the channel. And that's going to be it. Thanks so much for stopping by. And as usual, I hope you all have a wonderful and creative day. Bye for now.